Hello and welcome to ACS Golf, and today's video, which is a versus video. That is when I put two clubs against each other to find out basically which is the best one. They could be two brand new clubs from different brands, or they could be two of the same brands but one being newer and one being older, and that's exactly what we have today. And that's why I've got my Cobra hat on, which, not gonna lie, is a little bit tight, so it'll be interesting to see if it lasts the whole way through the video. But they are two Cobras. Firstly, we have the current model. So we have this, the Darkspeed X, my current gamer that I have had in the bag all season long this year. Absolutely love it. Love the looks of it, love the shape, love the forgiveness levels on it, love the adaptability it has, obviously with the hosel changing and being able to put that heavy weight at the front if you want a bit more of a low spin bomber, or, putting it at the back to really aid forgiveness and help launch that ball up in the air. Love this thing. Absolute fairway finder for me this year. And the competitor, what it's going against, and it's old school. It is the Cobra Fly-z Plus driver from 2015 in Ricky Fowler's orange there. Love it. Loved it when Cobra used to do these colours. Ooh, nearly dropped it there. I've got it. All right. Don't get me wrong, love the Darkspeed, but if they did like an orange version of this, I've been all over that. Really would have been. But yeah, so got this. Ricky Fowler had this in the bag during 2015 when he was winning left, right, and centre. Won the Players Championships, won the Scottish Open as well. Just checking there, make sure I got the two tournaments right. It was really when he was playing some really good golf. And so this thing was an awesome driver, very popular back in the day as well. You don't really see that many of them around now, even on the second-hand market, I think, because people have them and don't want to get rid of them, or more drivers from 2015, nearly 10 years old now. It will be quite battered, so you do tend to lose them, but never mind. So there you go. Those are the two competitors that we have going against each other today. I'm excited. I am excited. Now, as always, what we're going to do is we'll have a quick closer look at these clubs so you can see the difference between the two. Then we're going to come back here. I'll go through sort of some of the technology difference between them, but I'm not going to do an in-depth review for both. If you want to see my review of the Cobra X Darkspeed, check out the channel. And for the Fly-z Plus, it'll be coming out later this week, actually, so this Sunday. So remember to subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on the review of this, let's be honest, beast of a club. So yeah, so after we've had a quick chat about the technology, get down to the range, going to throw some figures at you, and then we'll come back here and decide on an overall winner. One thing I will say, during this testing, I had both of the weights at the back. So the heaviest weight at the back for the Cobra, both Cobras, the heaviest weight at the back for the Darkspeed, and I had this weight at the back here for the Fly-z. Also had them set at 11.5 degrees. I normally play at 12 degrees actually, just to help me get the ball up in the air, because my tack angle isn't the greatest thing isn't the greatest thing in the earth. So yeah, so I both set them at 11.5 because that's the highest I could set this up, and I both had them using my shaft, which is a Ventus 6S, so stiff Ventus shaft blue, which I absolutely love. So basically a fair on test, all exactly the same settings, so we can really find out who the winner is. Okay, so as always, let's have a closer look at these clubs. So there you go, a closer look at these clubs. And I'm not going to lie, I do love the look of that Cobra. I love it. Cobra, they're both Cobras. I do love the look of the Fly-z. I love that orange. Really, it's such a cool look. It's awesome, absolutely awesome. You had that sort of speed channel there, so not too sure about the face personally, and obviously the Cobra Darkspeed was a fantastic, gorgeous looking driver. Shape wise, not exactly too far off each other, to be honest. A little bit, definitely a little bit more aerodynamics with the Darkspeed there, probably a little bit more stretched out at the back as well, but not a huge amount of difference, to be fair. I mean, if you're looking down the top of these, you know, you probably say the Cobra Darkspeed's a little bit more of a bigger profile, but not a huge amount. To be fair, very similar looking drivers. One thing I will say is this is slightly smaller CC wise. It's only 455, while this is the 460. So going into a little bit of the technology about both the clubs, just a very brief one, as I mentioned. You know, check out the reviews for full in-depth look at both of these. Obviously the face has changed. You've got hot face on this now. You had a speed channel which sort of went around the face. On the older Cobras, the idea to help, you know, aerodynamics. The weight change system has changed as well here. This is 2 ports, you know, taking weights out and swap. Here you have this sort of flip zone sort of technique where you sort of unscrew this weight, flip it around, and then put it in there without smashing it. And then you put it in there and it just stays connected. You know, but basically you can't take that weight out. It stays connected to the driver. Not the most aerodynamic thing, I think you'd probably say nowadays, but still, there you go. All titanium head. Here you've got the carbon fibre, you've got carbon fibre top, and you've got the carbon fibre sole there. So a little bit of change of technology, as you'd expect. You know, this is, well, 9 years older than this club, but, you know, the same principles still apply. You know, put the heavyweight at the front for low spin, low launch, put the heavyweight at the back for higher launch and higher spin and more forgiveness, higher MOI. So still the similar ideas in both these, well, exactly the same ideas in both these clubs. So there you go. As I said, this was just a very brief look into it. Do check out the reviews for more in-depth technology look. Right, so there you go. There's a little bit about both of these clubs. Now let's get down to range. I'm going to throw some figures at you because it was a lot of fun to testing these. You know, I love Cobras. You know, the LTDX. I've got one behind. Nearly dropped this now. I'm just going to launch one of these drivers around by the end of this video, aren't I? I've got Cobra LTDX behind me there. Love that model. Wasn't too sure about the Aerojet, I have to admit. But, you know, love the Darkspeed. And so, yeah, and I'm not going to lie, I love the older Cobra stuff I've tried as well. I've got the old LTD I tried for the channel, and oh yeah, loads. I've always enjoyed hitting Cobras, basically. There you go. Got to do that. There was no difference with this. All right, let's get down to range. I'm going to throw some figures at you, and then we're going to come back here and have the overall conclusion. All right, see you guys in a bit.
Here I am down the range with the Fly-z Plus and the X driver. Now the first 3 are with the Fly-z, next 3 are with the Darkspeed. Now let's get into those numbers. So on average, with the Fly-z, I had a carry of 225 yards, 263 yards total distance, 147 miles per hour ball speed, 12 degrees launch, and 67 feet height, and 98.1 miles per hour for club head speed. Now moving on to the Darkspeed X, on average I had 221 yards carry, 256 yards total distance, 145 miles per hour ball speed, 11 degrees launch angle, 61 feet peak height, and 97.2 miles per hour swing speed on average. So those figures alone just shows that the Fly-z Plus won it. I mean, not surprising the fact that for some reason I was swinging it a little bit quicker. I think it's just down to the fact the head just felt a little bit more lighter, so I could really go for it. Dispersion wise though, and forgiveness, I definitely think the X did win that personally, but when it comes down to head-to-head and numbers wise, then it would be the Fly-z. So here are those figures in a table for you, and just see with the Fly-z just had better numbers all around. You know, it does help with the launch and obviously the quicker swing speed, but still very impressive numbers there. As for the longest with the Fly-z, you know, I got an absolute monster. 242 yards carry, 282 yards total distance, you know, launch angle 13, height 73 feet, you know, really did nail that one perfectly. With the Darkspeed X, the longest was 224 yards carry, you know, 259 yards total distance, which, to be honest, I'd be very happy with anyway. So both of these clubs did go above my average, sort of around that 250 mark, so both performed exceedingly well.
So what can I say? You know, it just shows you don't have to buy brand new, because this is technically still, you know, Cobra's brand new model. I know the new one's, I think, coming out mid-December. Pretty sure it's coming out mid-December, but you know, this is the new version still. This is 9 years old, and what a performance this club put in there. Don't get me wrong, we're using the same shaft. That's one thing I do definitely think has changed over the years, is the shaft, so do be aware of that. You know, this is a modern day shaft, but then 2015 is still modern as well, so you know, maybe scrap that idea. I'll leave that one up to you, but I definitely think out of everything, the shafts have changed the most, because you're not allowed to change drivers. You know, the face has to be so thick. You know, it can only be 460cc max size. You know, you're not allowed to completely change everything, because there's rules in there to stop you from doing it. If it doesn't conform with the rules, this is why I have these conforming lists. Well, basically, these people, you know, they produce the drivers, they put them in the conforming list to make sure, you know, they do conform. If they don't, if they're legal, you can't get them on tour. So there are rules in there. So really, nothing's changed over the last 10 years. It's why this, let's be honest, potentially, well, with the numbers, this destroyed this. So there you go. Really big, well, not a shock there, but a bit of a surprise, I'd say. A bit of a surprise. So going into it, you know, for the Cobra again, both Cobras, for the Fly-z, you know, carried 225 on average, with the Darkspeed 221. There you go. You know, total distance on average 263 with the Fly-z. You know, only 256 with the Darkspeed. Ball speed 147 with the Fly-z. Only 145 with the Darkspeed. You know, launch angle better with the Fly-z, 12 degrees. With the Cobra, 11 degrees. You know, peak height 67 feet with the Cobra, only 61 feet with the Darkspeed. You know, swing speed 98.10 on average with the Cobra, with the Fly-z. Sorry. You know, 97.2 with the Darkspeed. For some reason, even feeling these, you know, this is just a little bit lighter, and so, you know, I could get the swing speed up to one sort of my normal swing speed. You know, testing in wind, so I'm rarely going to get that 98 to be fair, but you know, I was getting it with this, just a little bit lighter at the end of the shaft. It really helped me get that swing speed up, even though you got all the aerodynamics on this. You know, it really does show you can get some really good performance out of the Fly-z. Now, yes, the longest on the day for the Fly-z was an absolute monster. You know, carried 242, you know, total distance 282 yards, you know, ball speed 148 miles per hour, launch angle 13, and that's where the difference is. A lot of these drive is the launch angle. You get the launch angle right, you get some really, really good distance. You know, height 73 feet on peak height, you know, and also, you know, you had 98.9 ball swing speed as well. You know, everything just came into place for that one monster drive, which I can do every now and again. There's a lot of amateur golfers out there. You know, I am a low handicapper, you know, at that 8 mark at the moment. So every now and again, I do have an absolute rocket when everything just comes together. And I got that with this. And believe me, that's one of the longest I've hit this year. I think I got with the TaylorMade Sim a bit longer, but it just shows you what you can do with these clubs. Now, if you took that flyer out of the equation, because I'm sure you guys are going, well, is that really fair, getting that sort of flyer and keeping it in there? You know, the Fly-z still won it with 258, so 258 total yards average distance. So still beat the Darkspeed by 2 yards on average. You know, really, really impressive numbers from the Fly-z. So numbers alone, this is 100% the winner. Not even difficult, not even a sort of, oh, maybe it should be the Darkspeed. 100% the Fly-z, which is really, really impressive. Obviously, we start to look a little bit more into it. Consistency, I'd say, and also, you know, the width of the shots, and you know, sort of where everything's getting clustered. It was the Darkspeed. The Darkspeed has more forgiveness than this Fly-z Plus. It really does. The Fly-z Plus was sort of definitely their better player model, where the X is sort of in the middle of that. So definitely more forgiveness in this. And that's one thing I will say probably more modern drivers have improved on it, is that little bit more forgiveness. So the Darkspeed, yes, more forgiveness, more tighter dispersion than the Fly-z Plus. And also, you know, you look at the distance numbers, you know, the ball speed wasn't quite as high as this, as high as this one. You know, it was 2 miles per hour, you know, shorter, well, 2 miles per hour slower, sorry, with the Darkspeed, but you know, probably getting a little bit more for your bang, you know, a little bit less ball speed, but still getting really good distance. While with the Fly-z Plus, you get even better ball speed, but not necessarily the distance. Because, like I said, you know, take out that 282, and they're only 2 yards in it, but you know, this is down on average, you know, 3 miles per hour, well, 2 miles per hour at the time. So yeah, conversion rate is a little bit better with the Darkspeed, which you'd expect with a more modern driver. Other things to note is, like I said, I did find this a lot easier to swing, so I was getting quicker swing speeds with it. Funness wise, both really fun to hit. Both really enjoyed it. I think the Fly-z Plus actually gave me a little bit more confidence to really go for it, and maybe that's why I got a little bit more distance with it. But yeah, feel wise, very similar. Really very similar. Probably not, to be fair. I will say the Darkspeed felt a lot nicer. More modern Cobra drivers, they feel lovely off the face. You know, this hot phase, when they had the milled face, well, one of the best feeling drivers I think out there. So yeah, this isn't quite there. Feeling's good, but not as good as the Darkspeed, so be aware of that. But yeah, but if we're just looking at the figures, as I mentioned, it is the Fly-z Plus, which is the winner. So I'm going to stop wittering on now, and we're going to get to the conclusion. So if you're looking for forgiveness, dispersion, everything like that, then yes, it is the Darkspeed, even though the average distance is shorter. But if you're looking for pure, unadulterated power and just performance, it is the Fly-z Plus, which has definitely won it. It has won it today. So I think this is the first time I've actually had one of the older clubs really win it, like by quite a bit. It has been this case today. So 9 years in difference between these, and the longest on the day was the Fly-z Plus. Monster Cobra driver. No wonder Ricky Fowler won a load with this. It's an absolute beast. Alright guys, I hope you've enjoyed this versus video. Remember, if you have, do give this video a like. You know, comment down below, you know, have you played Cobra drivers over the years? You know, what have you found between their older ones and their new ones? You know, I'd really like to know. And also, remember to subscribe to the channel as well and hit that bell icon so you do not miss out on weekly ACS golf reviews that come out every Sunday, such as this and such as this. And also, you know, for more versus video, you know, I've got some good stuff coming up versus wise as well. Hopefully get at least another versus video out before I smash all my golf clubs up. No, get another versus video out before the end of this year. I do plan to, so hopefully I do manage to get that out for you guys. Alright guys, I'll see you soon for the next ACS golf video. See you then. Bye bye.